Okay, we're going to go over the final week for the Public Health Science introduction. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you to the course homepage here. And on the course homepage, there are a list of objectives that we're supposed to cover in this class. So I want to make sure that you know that when I wrote the exam and when I focused on different things as far as the questions, I was really lining it up to these 4 learning objectives. So I want to make sure that you know the fundamental principles of public health. So in a nutshell, do you know the difference between a medical model versus a public health approach? You know, when you did the projects, your final presentation projects, I wanted you to focus on the entire community, how a disease is impacting an entire community, and how we can change it through prevention and through strategies and policies. And so a public health approach really looks at how we can change a whole entire population, not through individual treatment. So make sure you get your head wrapped around the medical model, which is individual treatment. For example, treating someone with one set of antibiotics versus a public health approach, which looks at maybe educating people on washing their hands and what they can do to avoid getting sick. And then also, we're not pushing antibiotics anymore because we're starting to see that antibiotic resistance is happening. So that's a big principle of public health, is that a public health approach. I also want you to understand that a lot of times I was always pushing you to think through what the diseases were, what strategies we could do to prevent them, injury prevention, emergency preparedness, infectious disease control. Also, the third thing is, before you dive into the exam, make sure that you go back to chapters 4 and 5, and you get your head wrapped around infectious disease. So do you know the difference between a rate, which is looking at the number of people per population? We like rates in public health more than percentages because with rates we can compare the differences, what a disease is happening in a community. So let's say a community only has 50 people. We can't use percentages to compare a disease, because let's say 25 people get sick in a population of 50, and then I tell you the number of people that are sick in LA. I would rather look at the rate of number of people per, let's say, 1,000, okay, compared to a population. So taking a rate is a way to compare. So with a population that only has 50 people, it's really hard to compare it. That's a really small number. So we really look at rates to see how many sick per 1,000, how many sick per 100,000. So make sure you get that, your head wrapped around that. Also make sure that you know the difference between incidence, prevalence, morbidity, and mortality. You will see those terms on the final exam. And then number 4 is really what you did in your presentations, your final projects, was looking at an issue and really seeing how it's impacting Kern County. Now, with that said, here are your assignments. And this is how your course was laid out. And you could see that 10% of your discussion online class assignments, all the things you did there was worth 10%. And I'm going to be applying a rule right now as we speak. I'll go ahead and drop your lowest 2, and you're going to see that your grade will go up because I just did that. So let's say you missed some of the online class assignments, you'll be fine. The lowest 2 dropped. For your chapter reviews, I dropped, I'm going to go ahead and drop the 2 lowest, okay? So that will improve your grade. Quizzes, the 2 lowest dropped from your quizzes. Your midterm exam, nothing dropped. It is what it is. That's what you did. That's what it is. Final exam, same deal. This is what you take. It is what you get. And so that's why it's really important to do your chapter reviews, and there's a quiz 4 that's I just reopened. Do your quiz 5. So when you come into the final exam, you're ready to go. Okay, that will open tomorrow at noon. Then we have poster presentations, which right now are closed and graded. What I did do is I opened them back up for partial credit. So if you did not do your poster project, you can still submit for partial credit. And then all this extra credit here, I will turn that on at the end, and you will see your grade go up. So right now you're going to see some crazy things in the extra credit. It hasn't been turned on yet. When it turns on, you'll see it bump up your grade. But right now your grade is what it is without the extra credit. So really just focus in on that right now. Let's see. One of the big things I want to make sure is that you leave this class really knowing the different things that you can do in public health. So before you go, make sure that you do a couple of things here. Right now I'm going to minimize this. We're focusing in on our finals week, which is right here. And I'm going to post this video right now in the final overview and checklist of items. You'll be happy to know that the face-to-face in-person class create a summary for each chapter, and you can actually go to that Google link and look at the summary for each chapter. And then take a look at the future for public health here. Your quiz 5 final review is right here for you to take before the final exam, and use that as one of your quizzes to bump up your quiz grades and also to prepare you for the final exam. I'm going to go ahead and open the final exam right here so you can see there's 30 questions with 7 short answers and 4 essay questions. You have 2 hours to complete. Note, if you misspell something, it will pick it up, so try your best to spell correctly. Also know that I'm going to go through every single exam when grading it. So if you get something wrong and you know it was right, know that I'm going to be looking at it. You can also make a comment in the exam itself off to the side. That works much better than Canvas messaging me. So put a comment in there if you want me to take a look at and say, can you take a look at this question closer? You can see that off to the side in the comments. Okay, 120 minutes. You're going to see everything all at once. The questions are not going to be one question at a time, so you can skip ahead to the short answers and to the finals questions. And then also I want you to know, last but not least, that CSUB is going to be creating a degree in public health, and right now they're doing a needs assessment. So if you could take that survey, that would be great, and give CSUB some input of what you'd like to see in their public health degree. That would be much appreciated. I hope to see you guys in future classes. I really enjoyed this online class. I hope you found some things that were interesting in public health. Know that there are a lot of great opportunities in public health. One of the things that you could do is you can go out to Public Health Barron and see all the great things that are happening there. But also you can go to the Bakersfield College page and see Public Health Science. And I want you to know that the Public Health Science Health Navigator Certificate will be coming out soon, and that will be posted in here, degree plans. Okay, so pretty soon that will be coming out. So stay in touch with me, okay? And I hope to see you around BC's campus and enjoy your summer break. But most of all, please go back and get your final exam done. Do not leave that not completed. Don't worry, I will be poking you to get that done. It will close on Thursday at midnight, and it is opening tomorrow. All right, that's it.